Deathwatch.
Okay, welcome gentlemen. Today we're doing a one-shot Call of Cthulhu because Brandon couldn't make this week and we couldn't play our Rock Riders campaign. Today we're playing a scenario called The Lightless Beacon, written by Leigh Carr and Lynne Hardy and published by Chaosium. You can find it on their website or Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds for free. I'm Travis. I'll be your keeper today. The setup for the scenario is you guys had booked passage on a ship from Newsburyport to Rockport, and about 15 minutes ago you were nearing a lighthouse on Beacon Island that was dark, and as a result your ship foundered on some rocks and took considerable hull damage. And before you knew it, the crew had pushed you off into lifeboats and pointed you towards Beacon Island, saying that you probably only had enough time to make it to this island. So you guys rowed your way up to a dock jutting off the northern end of Beacon Island, and you saw a glimmering light at the cottage at the base of the lighthouse. And the three of you that were in this lifeboat have made your way up to the cottage, where the door stood ajar and a light burned in the window on one of the rooms. You guys have pushed open the door, flicked on the light switch in the hallway, and no one is around, and there is no sound besides the pattering of rain, the distant crashing of thunder, and an electrical generator humming away somewhere outside of the cottage. Before we get started, let's get a quick introduction from our investigators. We'll start with you, Justin.
All right. My character's name is Nick Shepard. He's an FBI agent who is unwillingly here in this area investigating smuggling rings. He is supposed to be dropping something off here for one of his partners for what will hopefully be his last mission in this area.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm playing Ricky Washington, a antiques dealer who is completely on the straight and narrow and has never been a criminal whatsoever.
All right, and the third man in the rowboat, or the lifeboat with you guys, his name was Luke Sable, and by his dress and the pattern of his speech, you can tell he's an educated man, a college boy, good-looking fella, if somewhat annoying. And so you guys stand in the hallway of this cottage, and you can see off to your left the room with the light burning in it. And we'll start with you, Nick. What did you want to do?
All right. So first I'll hang up my coat to be polite, and then I'm going to go look in one of the doors down the hallway to see if I can find who the caretaker is, to let him know about the fate of our ship.
So yeah, when you hang up your coat, you notice on the three coat hooks, only one has a well-worn oil skin hanging from it. Down at the base of that coat, the coat hooks, you see two pairs of galoshes that are in a shallow tray to catch, water drippings and whatnot. There's space for another pair, but it's empty at the moment. You do see a pair of indoor shoes that were set beside the tray, and two oil lanterns hang from those hooks. Now, in that hallway, you were going to, which of the doors did you favor? The study door or the one with the light burning under it?
No, I'm going to go past that one since I haven't heard anything from that room. I'm going to head to the first door on the right out in the hallway.
All right, so that's the one you're standing by. So while he does that, Ricky, what did you want to do?
I'm going to go into the study with the light.
Okay.
And I'm going to start kind of rifling through some stuff, seeing what I can find.
All right, so yeah, you saw that study had three fairly comfortable looking armchairs. They were located roughly in the center of the room. You can see off to the south there's another door. Besides the armchairs, you see a table and a writing desk, and that about covers it. You can see that there was a wooden chair that was knocked over from the writing desk. It's laying on its back. What part of the room kind of grabs your attention?
I'm probably going to head over to the writing desk, but I think I'll peek into that door. Is it there? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure there ain't no one hiding in there.
All right. The door creaks open, And so, yeah, you can see that's a kitchen. There's a small wood stove. There's a kettle that's sat upon it. One of the chairs that was in there lies on the floor broken, and your lantern light picks up a pool of liquid on the floor. And you're fairly certain what it is. Let me make that visible to you. All right. What did you want to do, Nick, now that you got that door open?
First look for a light switch of some sort to turn on the light in the room.
Yeah, and just from the light from the hallway, you can see that it looks to be the bunk room. So there are a couple different beds, but get the light on.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to step inside, take a look around, see if there was anyone in here, maybe someone asleep or...
Nobody's in here. They're just the 3 beds. There's a large pile of books stacked tidily in one corner of the room. There's cupboards and some little lockers at the end of the beds or tables next to them. But you can give me a spot hidden check.
Does it... Well, I guess the spot hidden will probably answer my question, but... does it look like all 3 of the beds are regularly used?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, you see some personal artifacts on near one of the bunks that you recognize belonging to somebody you know that's working on the island.
The guy that I'm supposed to contact, right?
Right.
What was his name?
And you had worked with him in the past, and you, in
Michael
the past,
Turner.
And you know that he liked to hide things in his mattress. He would always make like a slit down the side of, wherever it would be facing away from anybody could see, and he would tuck things in there.
Okay.
So you actually do find a few items in there, but let's jump back over to Ricky. So yeah, you looked in that kitchen, you see something on the kitchen floor that gets your hackles up just because it's a little out of place. It's not the first time you've ever seen blood or anything like that, but...
But yeah, when I notice that there are 3 beds and we haven't had anyone respond to us yet, I'll kind of call back to the other. I think something's amiss here. Having 1 lighthouse keeper missing is one thing, but having 3 all missing seems a bit suspicious to me.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, buddy.
I don't know. I think they're probably around here somewhere. This from Luke.
Yeah, they're probably around here somewhere. How many pieces, though? Does it look like a lot of blood?
It's a pretty sizable pool of it. You're still at a stage where that's like your worst fear. You haven't confirmed it. You would have to get closer to it.
I'll feel around for a light switch.
Okay.
Just on the inside of the kitchen door or wall.
You find one.
All right, I'll flick it on.
And with the full light, you confirm that it is blood by its color. Go ahead and give me a sanity check. Don't worry, it's just a small bump.
There we go. Oh, no. 98 over 55. Is that a...
No, because you're over 50, so it wouldn't be a fumble in your case.
How close? Like 1 more?
I think you need the 100 if you're over 50.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what kind of person you are. All right, so yeah, you lose a point of sanity, and for your involuntary action, you're going to drop an item you might be holding. So what do you have in your hands? Just a lantern?
I don't think I picked it up.
Oh, okay.
I'll say as I walked by the writing desk, I had maybe started to pick up the chair, and that door kind of being open was kind of giving me a bit of the hackles.
Okay.
And so I was holding that kind of,
all right.
Like, I don't know, like maybe dragging it, and maybe now it's been kind of leaning. And so when I let go, it will
totter to the ground with a crash.
Yeah.
So Luke pokes his head in the door, and he looks at you and asks if you're all right.
Yeah, I'm fine. What happened to in the kitchen? Maybe that ain't so fine, but I'm fine. I wasn't here for that. I don't know anything.
So he's like, what happened in the kitchen? And then he gets a look. Let's see how he fares. The old sanity traps.
Well, I think there's a tactic to inoculating the
right.
people.
So yeah, he does look shocked to see blood, but then some sort of academic interest overtakes him, and he walks up to the edge of it.
This is supposed to be in the human body.
How curious.
How do you think it got here?
Okay, we'll pop back over to Nick. So yeah, you felt along that mattress, and you know that slit he puts in it, and you feel a couple items inside of it.
Okay.
And as you pull them out one by one, the first thing you pull out is like one golden coin.
Okay.
But it's not like any coin you've ever seen before. The next thing is like a little cloth bundle that when you pull it apart, there are 6 loose bullets in it, and then a pocket-sized notebook.
I'll kind of quickly thumb towards the end of the notebook, see if I can get some explanation as to what these other things are.
Okay, let me share a handout with you.
But for the most part, I'll figure that the others are kind of his personal effects, so I'll tuck them back in for now.
Okay, so you open up that notebook, and it was a fairly new one, and these are just some notes he's made on the opening page there. So it reads, George Cassidy, previous criminal record, involved in smuggling, lights on water, small rowboat, found ship parts on North Shore, found gold coin on North Shore, bigger than just bootleg moonshine. What is going on? Smith said Smith said saw someone in the trees and peering through window. Men on island at night? Croaking noise? Frogs? So that's what's scrawled into it. And you recognize this particular style as you've worked with him in the past, where he's basically just doing like a stream of conscious.
Yeah.
You know, when he's on like a stakeout or when he's examining evidence back at the bureau, that sort of thing.
Okay. I'll tuck that back in his mattress as well.
Since you did have a look at that gold coin, though, you want to make an appraise roll?
Sure. I don't know how well I'll do with that one. Where is... Yeah, this is going to be ugly.
Ooh.
That's okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We got a couple other rolls that can glean.
Oh, wait. I double-clicked it again. The first one was actually a success.
Oh, wow.
I got, a 5 over 5.
Okay, so it's just
Wow.
by some stroke of luck, you're able to identify it as it's being solid gold, so it has just intrinsic value for the metal it's made of. Also, if you don't want to do all of these, you can just try the one you're best at. Occult, art craft in a relevant way, if you have a relevant art craft, or natural world.
That listen was not supposed to be rolled. Okay, so occult. What is going on?
Because it's a one-shot, man.
Okay, so I'll just stay with the extreme success I got on the occult one.
You could probably hear occult whispers coming from the coin with the listen one, too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can know that the sigil on the coin, which has like an aquatic theme of some kind, it holds a deeper, that they're similar to those used by remote religious tribes in the South Seas. And the only way you know that is that a case in your past where you had broke up, some blood sacrificing group in the South of America, or not South America, but south of the United States, had these coins, and it was just luck of memory that put that together in your mind just now.
But they were there was a blood sacrificing cult?
Right. Yeah, they weren't sacrificing humans or anything like that, but they were sacrificing livestock and stuff in an illegal way at the time.
Okay.
So this was actually prior to your assignment with the Bureau. All right. So Luke's knelt down by that blood, and he's sort of looking at it, and he says, "This is odd, but what would you like to do?"
Well, I guess now that I got another opportunity, I'm going to try to rifle through that writing desk, maybe see if I can find anything that might glean some information on this.
So it's one of those roll top ones, and it's closed at the moment, and you move the hinge up, and it reveals the half empty but still warm mug of coffee. Like when you touch it, it's still slightly warm. and lots of stationery. So you have envelopes, stamps, paper, bottles of ink, pens, that sort of stuff. There's a mess of invoices for coin appraisals from a variety of Rockport antique stores. You can see, just at a glance, you can see the quotes range from $2 to $5, which is quite a lot of money for a coin.
Yeah.
And all are dated late February 1926. Under a large coin catalog are several letters from further afield antique stores, librarians, and university. Each letter begins with "Dear Mr. Cassidy," followed by an apology explaining that the sender is unable to determine the origin of the coins described in the received correspondence. However, all the letters state they are keen to see an actual sample. You got library use, or throw one out there for me, Ricky?
All right. Ooh, 51 over 45.
Okay, that's fine. So amongst there's just a mess of letters, but you can't make any sense of them. You don't know what are the newest ones or anything like that. And so nothing really jumps out at you. But there are still 2 drawers on the writing desk that you haven't opened. There's one on the left that is open, I should say, although you can see that the key was snapped off on the lock to it. And the drawer was it holds an empty wooden box with green velvet lining, and it's in the shape of a gun. And 6 bullets lie loose in the same drawer.
All right.
The right-hand drawer is closed and at the moment. So
yeah, I'll cast a look over at Luke and give a listen out, see what our grumpy friend is up to.
Nick, what are you up to?
Well, I probably would have heard the bang of the chair falling, so yeah. I'll come walk into the room and say, "So, what did you all find?"
I'll point through the door, and pretty boy's in there looking at some blood on the ground. And I'll point to the mug on the table, and whoever's drinking this, though, didn't leave too long ago. It's still warm.
All right. Yeah, the more we're here, the more my skin's starting to crawl. Something just doesn't feel right around here. I guess I better go take a look at this blood that you're talking about.
When he walks past me and starts looking at the blood, I'll go for the other drawer.
Okay. It is locked. You got a couple options here. If you were to find some sort of impromptu tool, you could go the locksmith route to get it open, or alternatively, you could just try to strong arm it.
No, I don't think I'm going to be doing either of those.
Either way.
As I see him starting to ruffle through it, I'll tell him, "Make sure you don't mess things up too much. This may be a crime scene."
It was after you walked by. I was waiting until you got to the blood.
He didn't want you to see it, Nick. He knows you're a cop. No, just kidding.
Well, I'll just say it as I walk by. Don't go
touching stuff.
Yeah, don't go messing things up too much. This may be a crime scene.
Oh yeah, sure. We don't want to make things hard for the cops.
I should point out to you, Ricky, that amongst those letters, you do recognize the handwriting. If the "Dear Mr. Cassidy" didn't alert you already.
Yeah.
In the response ones. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, the kitchen has dirty plates and a sauce pot in the sink. Excuse me. There's a small wood-fired stove. A kettle sits on the hearth next to it. One of the chairs lies broken on the floor. Nick, why don't you give me an intelligence roll?
But I'm a government official. I don't use intelligence.
No, apparently you do.
Apparently I do.
So yeah, you can see Luke's looking at a pool of blood. Which, go ahead and throw your sanity roll out there for me.
I can't use luck on that, can I?
No. So you lose 1 point when you see the blood.
Oh, sorry. I didn't click edit mode first there.
You can also go to the red dot and just put -1 in on your token.
Use that next time. Okay.
And are you holding anything?
No, I would have put my colleague's stuff back in his cubby before I came in here.
All right. So we'll just you sort of freeze up for a moment. It's kind of been happening more and more lately when you come across these violent scenes, which in the last 5 years have really ticked up with prohibition and everything. There's been a lot more, gangland style murders and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you're just you were looking at a bit of this table or this chair leg, and you just sort of freeze up and get these flashes but you come back after a little bit. But for now, we'll switch back over to Ricky.
What's on this other table? Oop, that one.
So it holds several books of maritime tales, a bird book, a repair manual for the lighthouse. There's a pipe and a pouch of tobacco, pair of binoculars, sketchbook, pencils, watercolor paints, paintbrushes, and paper.
Any of this stuff strike me as something Georgie would use?
No, not necessarily. It looks like somebody else's station there.
All right.
Looks like George was using the writing desk mostly. But there is a recently finished watercolor that sits on the table beside a stack of other paintings. This piece shows a window and a dark shadow with wide eyes leers through the glass pane. You can easily identify the window in the painting as the same one next to this desk. Go ahead and give me a sanity roll.
I'm just finding them all today.
Pickman's model style.
Dang it. 89 over 54.
All right, just another point of sanity lost. And when you make that connection in your head that this person was painting the window that's in the room that looks out of the cottage, for a second when you look up, you think you see those same eyes, that figure in the window, but then if it ever occurred,
Flash
it's
of lightning, and it's obviously not there.
right. Yeah, and without realizing that painting has floated back down to the desktop as it fell from your suddenly numb fingers.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like nervously bite my lip. Do I know like any places where Georgie would have stashed a key? Like I'm thinking maybe that kind of jolted me, and I'm gonna try to like, I don't know, maybe edge like under the desk.
Yeah.
Like taped or hidden.
Well, you're thinking what might have happened is because that key was broken off in the lock on the writing desk that the gun was in.
Yeah.
Is that whoever went for it quick. And it's likely that key opened the other.
Maybe the key itself isn't the thing, but like maybe cubby holes, hidey spaces.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Is more what I'm going for.
Yeah.
You know, and like if it's not maybe in this area, like maybe where he would stash something.
So your history with him, you know that if he got even a little inkling of suspicion about anything, that he was the kind of guy that would hold it close to himself, which was good from his way of thinking because he knew right where it was, but it was bad from your way of thinking because it meant some cases the evidence is on you if you get pinched, you know.
Yeah, you don't want to get pinched. Cops will find it right away.
So if you want to find anything that he thought was important, then you need to find him.
All right. I guess I'll I think we should go looking for see if there's anyone else left here. Oh, you got that blood there. Someone could be bleeding out.
Luke says, well, there were the boot prints outside. You know, gentlemen, I don't think this is human blood.
Yeah? What makes you say that?
Well, it's a bit technical, so I'll spare you the explanation and just say I have my reasons. But you should take hope. Maybe some animal they drug in here. It is in the kitchen after all.
It could be even a worse prospect.
Nick, what did you want to do? So when you looked at that chair leg after you came out of your fugue, you noticed that it had been used as an impromptu weapon. There's a little bit of blood spatter on one side of it and some scuffs.
Yeah, I'll put that back down, try and put it back in the exact location I found it, and move over. At this point, I'm going to be starting to look at it more as a crime scene than I did before and trying to take care not to disturb anything. I'll tell Luke, be careful not to step in that or disrupt it in any way, as I kind of circle wide around it and look for any kind of drag marks or anything like that.
Okay.
If something was killed here and then dragged out, then...
Yeah, you can see like it kind of looks like it was dragged out into the hallway.
Okay. And I'll go back the way I came in through that study so that I can get to the hallway from the other side without stepping over or...
Yeah, go ahead and move yourself there.
My token got stuck on the corner. Yeah. So I'll come out here and try and see where this blood trail follows. or where it goes.
But yeah, oddly, it ceases after it's drug a little bit from the kitchen. It ceases altogether. But you do see a couple more of those coins, just like the one that you found in your friend's mattress.
Where are they?
They're at the end of that hallway by the blood.
Okay. Do I have a pen or a pencil or anything on me?
I don't know. Was it in your inventory? If not, you can do a luck roll, but there are a lot of them in the study, so you could go back and grab one.
Yeah, I'll do a...
Nice.
No, failed the first one, the second one. Yeah, I'm still switching over from
Fantasy Grounds.
Double
clicking.
Double click. But yeah, so I don't have one on me, so I'll go grab like a pen or something so I can kind of poke around a little bit without actually touching it with my fingers.
Okay, so yeah, you can see there's some on the writing desk amidst all these old letters and stuff. Give me a spot hidden as you're grabbing a pen from it.
Yeah, I'll use 2 luck. That was not what I meant to do. So yeah, I'll use 2 luck to succeed on that spot hidden.
So yeah, you just happen to glimpse that there's these invoices for coin appraisals on the desk, and that catches your eye because you found 1 coin and then you found 2 in the hallway.
Yeah.
So there's kind of a connection there.
And are they the same kind of coins from that occult?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like from the South Seas.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a library use roll?
No way.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So you can just see that, somebody named George Cassidy had these invoices for coin appraisals from different places, but he had a stack of letters that were laid out in chronological order. So the first is dated for March 8th. The latest is dated for April 2nd. And the last one, let me share with you. Okay, so the last one is from the Newburyport Society. And it says, it's dated April 2nd, 1926. It says, Dear Mr. Cassidy, thank you for your letter dated February 28th of this year. I do indeed recognize the coin you described, or at least I recognize the style of decoration, for we have a piece of similar origin here in our museum in Newburyport. As a result, I suspect your coin hails from nearby Innsmouth, and only the locals of that benighted town can tell you its true worth, to them at least. However, if you value your immortal soul, I strongly caution you against contacting any denizens of that place. No good ever came from dealings with Innsmouth. Instead, the Newburyport Society would be glad to purchase any coins you may have from you at market value once their authenticity has been confirmed. If you would care to make arrangements to visit me here at the Society's museum at your earliest convenience, then I can arrange to have our appraiser examine the coins, whereupon we can agree a fair price for the sale. Again, Mr. Cassidy, I urge you most strongly not to approach anyone in Innsmouth about your find. It really is for the best of all concerned. Yours sincerely, Miss Pina Tilton.
And what's the date today again? This was
April 12th.
2nd, and it's the 12th. Okay. So kind of putting 2 and 2 together from this letter, plus my past experiences with the bearers of these coins, I'm guessing that there's some sort of a hidden cult, much similar to the other one that I had busted up in Innsmouth, and that they may not be quite as fickle about what they're sacrificing. Since there are 3 beds. One is a known investigator. One is potentially a smuggler, and the third one is unknown. Like, I'm kind of guessing that one of the 3 of them is involved in the ritual in some sort, and the others got in their way. So that's just kind of the story I'm piecing together so far.
Oh, while you're musing there, Nick, we'll bounce back to Ricky. Maybe you're watching Nick somewhat nervously. He was going for a pin and he paused and he started looking at the letters, and you can almost, as if he said it, he's like, interesting.
I figure his demeanor takes on a very cop-like...
Right, yeah.
Hey, you find something interesting there, buddy?
Always.
Yeah.
Does that... anyhow, what did you... Oh, sorry, I'll let you guys play it out.
Oh, well, I think I'll be kind of edging towards the hallway door when I'm talking to him.
So, was our ship actually heading here?
Mm-mm. It was heading for a town called Rockport.
Okay. But I was supposed to come here eventually to meet up with my contact.
I think that he was going to meet you in Rockport.
Okay.
Just because you could only really get to this island by small boat. That's why your ship couldn't take you here, because there's rocks all around it. That's why there's a lighthouse. So you're going to meet like at a halfway point. He was going to take leave, meet you at Rockport, and...
Okay. All right. So I have no reason to suspect that either of the other people in my group were going to be coming here.
Right. Well, I think you, in your backstory, your guy's undercover here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the two people you're with?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, you've never met them before, and you haven't revealed anything about your backgrounds to each other.
We're just unfortunate victims of circumstance. We ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Well, now we do. All right. I'll try and cautiously check this door down across the hallway from the blood spatter.
Oh, okay.
See if whatever left are there like any drips of blood or anything like that lead from this smear that came out of the kitchen?
No, there's just the smear, and then it's clean as a whistle. Oh. And upon opening that door, Nick, you can see it's a larder. There's food stores full of shelves, all neatly stacked with dried canned and preserved foods. What were you going to do, Ricky, now that you're back in the hallway?
I was thinking about sticking with old Sourpuss, and I think I probably will. But, yeah, I'll kind of just be rambling at him.
All right, so in the background, you've heard this generator running, and it's pretty smooth, but there's like a hitch, and then all the lights flicker, and then it goes smooth again.
That ain't good.
And then you hear an exclamation from Luke. He's still in the kitchen.
I'll kind of, because the door between the hallway and the kitchen is kind of slightly ajar, right?
Yeah.
I'll call through that and say, is everything all right in there?
Well, I thought I saw an animal or something outside. There's a door that leads outside the cottage in the kitchen here.
We'll close the door so the animal can't get in.
Well, it is closed. I saw it through the window.
Oh. What kind of an animal did you see?
Well, I don't know. It was just moving out there in the rain.
Are you sure it was an animal?
Well, that's the thing. What kind of animal would be on this island? I guess a otter or something, maybe.
So it was a small animal that you saw.
Smallish, maybe like 3 or 4 feet high.
Okay. Those tracks out front, when you were looking through them, did you see any dog prints or any other animals of those kinds of nature that could have been?
No, it looked like a duck, but from a species I've never seen before.
All right.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
If you guys could spare a moment, and it seems like we have a moment to spare, maybe we should go out and see if we can catch sight of it. It would be quite the discovery if we were to find a new species.
Well, if I'm honest here, I don't really care about any new duck species as long as 3 people seem to be missing.
Yes, but think about the wider implications.
I really don't care.
I see.
Might be wanting
But
to go check on that generator.
Going outside and checking may not be such a bad idea. There's some rain slickers by the door. Let's see, Ricky, how are you with a lantern? Think you could hold it? I'm a little bit concerned, so I'd like to have my revolver free and clear in case something comes at us.
Yeah, I could do that.
All right.
I'll go to the room. I guess I'll check the guy's pipe stash.
Okay.
See if he's got matches or lighter like in his pouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll light up a lantern, and I guess while I'm in there, I'll like, hey kid, come on.
All right. Luke had gone to the artist's desk, and he's like, wow. And he picked up one of the books on like bird species, and he sets it back down, and he starts coming with you.
Yeah, I'll hand him the other lantern and light it for him.
Okay, so you guys head outside of the cottage back into the pouring rain, which is even more fierce than it was when you arrived. So the sailors were right in their warning to point you here rather than the mainland. But you can see that footpath that led you up to this cottage leads around to the east side of that building. So who is our fearless leader down that footpath? You can hear the sound of the generator coming from the south side of the lighthouse. And I think Luke and Ricky both have a lantern at the moment.
But yeah, I'll take the lead.
Yeah, I'll keep my eyes open for like gas canisters on the way or something like that. Don't know where they'll store them here.
But I'll give both Ricky and Luke instructions to hold the lanterns up high enough that I can see in front of me, but not to blind me with them. And I'll have my revolver drawn.
Okay. All right, Nick, so you're going to proceed down that path?
Yeah. I'll keep an eye out for boot prints and other prints.
So yeah. Nick, go ahead and proceed as far down that path as you feel is safe.
So first I'll get down to where that door from the kitchen leads out, and I'll stop there and take a look around the ground there.
Okay. You do see actually another set of those strange, almost duck-like prints. These seem to be separate from the ones you saw up at the northern side of the cottage, so I will allow you a separate one here.
Spot hidden or track?
Track.
Nope. But I'll point them out and say, Luke, more of your duck prints.
Fascinating. This must have been the one I saw right out the window. It didn't look like a bird, though. It glistened, I would say.
It is raining.
That's true. Very astute.
No. After not seeing any human boot prints, I'll continue on down the track, trying to find where the generator is.
Yeah, you're hearing it get louder and louder. And Luke's like, so tell me, where did you go to school? Where are you educated? He's just chatting the whole time.
I'm just going to ignore him as I'm keeping my eyes out for anything.
Yeah, here or there.
And you, Ricky, you say here or there?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, I went to school here and I went to school there.
I see. All right, so he moves up next to you. You guys can see that thicket off to your left there. It's just trees and bushes that are grown tight together, and they kind of block sight out to the ocean. And when Luke gets next to you, he stops, waiting for you to take the lead. Oh, we should be close now. I hear it. You hear it just around the corner, you think.
Okay. I'll do that thing that parents do.
Right.
Where I just kind of hold my arm out to the side to stop him from getting in front of me. And I'll hold my revolver up in my right hand and say, you stay behind me.
Okay. I'm safely behind you.
But yeah, I'll keep working my way around.
Okay, so you work your way down around that path, and you're nearing the sound of this generator, which relative to your location, sorry, one sec, seems to be just off to your right as you come around the edge of that lighthouse.
Okay.
So let me ping where you think that might be. Did that show up for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Of course, you can make out the vague shape of two other structures there, two sheds by the look of them, although one of them you can see like through it. It just seems to be a canopy. So this one here is the canopy. This one looks like a shed of like a small little shed. Where are you going to proceed, Nick?
First, I'll go up to the shed that I hear the generator in.
Okay. Make a listen roll for me. Or actually, ignore the listen roll. You hear like a wet sort of clicking sound off to your left.
Okay.
It's like a rattling, clicking sound.
I'll turn in that direction.
Okay. Luke comes up. Turn you a little bit more. So you see there's a little creature in between those two sheds. And you see it for a second, and then it darts off into the thicket.
Okay. What do I...
Luke was like, what was that? You only glimpsed it for a second. You couldn't really even make out too many details. It was like 4 foot high, glistening in Luke's lamplight, and then it darted like small animals can do, just lightning quick back into the thicket, and all you see is shaking leaves.
I'll say some sort of an animal.
I'll say. Did you see that, Ricky?
Nah, man. Sorry.
Wrong character?
Yeah. Nah, I didn't see anything. It was probably just a raccoon or something. Come on, let's get out of this rain. Fix this. Check this generator.
All right.
But yeah, I'll go to the generator shed and open up the door.
Okay, so you see... Sorry, I lost it.
I'll tell Luke, if you're so interested in the animal, you can go take a look at the tracks, see if it's the thing you've been seeing the entire time.
Yes, I might just do that as he just stands stock still with the lantern held up looking at the thicket. Okay, so this shed contains the running electric generator, and you also see there are copious amounts of gasoline and firewood stacked in there. And you see there's a leak in the generator shed's roof, and raindrops splatter through it onto the electrical equipment below.
Okay. And
you can also see there's another larger shed just a little bit beyond the generator one here.
Okay. Do I see anything in the generator shed that I might be able to patch it up with duct tape or even a tarp that I could throw over the roof that might...
Not in that one, and you're fairly certain that this one is an outhouse, so you might want to check the larger shed beyond the generator shack.
Okay. So I have a little bit of knowledge in repair. So I'm going to ask Ricky to check the other shed for something we can use to patch the roof with to keep the generator dry while I take a look at it and see if I notice anything that's actually damaged about it so far.
Yeah, Ricky, so he points you to that shed. Was that you who just pinged it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure thing.
I'll tell Luke to stay with me so I have some light.
Oh, of course. Always willing to help. When you approach that bigger shed, Ricky, you hear that. You only faintly heard it because you were a little further back, but it's that sort of throaty, wet clicking sound, just like 4 clicks from somewhere in the thicket to the southwest. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make my way to the shed.
Okay.
Cautiously. I guess I'll be kind of looking out that way with the light.
All right. So when you kind of, it has an open sort of door into, you can see it's obviously a workshop containing various materials, mechanical parts, tools. There's more oil lamps, and there's a long workbench in there.
As kind of an afterthought, I'll shout out after him. If you see an axe or anything that could be used as a weapon in there, bring it along.
Well, there's not an axe specifically. There are plenty of things that could be used as impromptu weapons, like big wrenches, that sort of thing. Relative to what Nick was looking for, you see corrugated iron sheets and hammer and nails, that sort of thing, which could be used to repair the roof of that generator shack.
All right.
Screwdrivers and chisels sort of jump out at you. You're thinking in the back of your head, that writing desk, locked one. If you had the skill, you could pop it open with that.
Yeah, I think I'll put a chisel and a hammer in my pocket. Was that what you're going with?
Right, yeah, that would work, yeah.
And then I'll guess I'll sit the lantern down and start found some, was it like roofing material?
Right. So there are these corrugated iron sheets, like think about a shed's tin roof, basically, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think you could get that. You'd have to clamber up there. Maybe with somebody's help, they could boost you up there, but you could hammer it in place and keep the worst of the weather off the generator.
Yeah, I'll try and do that as quickly as I can.
Okay, so you got 2 options. You can, if you have carpentry as art or craft, or you can do mechanical repair.
Be mechanical. All right, let's give it a shot.
Nice.
Yeah,
so it's a relatively easy patch. You just get up there, you hammer a couple sheets into place, and the way it's slanted, the water is most likely to roll down it and off the eaves rather than underneath it. And you clamber back down, and when your feet hit the ground, Luke suddenly exclaims, and he says, "Gentlemen, our friend is back. He's standing right at the edge of the thicket looking at me. This is most fascinating. I've never seen a creature like this. He's aquatic, fish-like, but standing bipedal. quickly, you must come take a look. I believe he's about to bolt. Yes, he's turning around right now. Come and take a look. All right.
I'll walk over to where he is and
I'll grab the lamp and a big wrench and follow Nick.
Yeah, so he takes a step back, and Nick will have you act first. And yeah, you can see his token of that creature just standing right there. It's turned its back to Luke, and Luke is just fascinating. This is most fascinating. My paper is gonna do great, but it's got its back to you, like it's about to flee, but it's like sort of shaking violently in this crouch position. What did you want to do, Nick?
I'll draw my gun.
Okay.
Wild animals can be unpredictable sometimes,
And Ricky, you're standing well clear in the back, but you can make out that creature. While it is small, something about it does give you the creeps.
Yeah, I'll have that wrench ready, though.
Right.
It's close.
And so far we've seen nothing, no signs of anyone else out here, right?
No. All right. So there's a sound like almost like a blow dart gun, just rushing out of air. And let's see how it does. And at the base of like this, or no, we'll have to use something else. Well, give me a spot hidden, Nick. We'll do it that way.
Oh.
All right, yeah, so you just heard that odd sound. You don't see anything. Luke is still babbling. And Ricky, you were just too far back. It was very small and difficult to see. So as far as you know, you guys are just looking at some weird crouched creature. All right, this time, as you're watching Luke talk, you just see a tiny little needle sort of spring up in his neck, and he's all like, ow! And you heard that sound again.
Was it from the direction of the creature?
You think so, yeah. Yeah, it is just very tiny. And, but he claps his hand to his neck. And he's like, what is this? What do you want to do, Nick?
I'll turn and shoot at the thing.
Okay.
Whatever this duck thing is just shot a needle.
All right, go ahead and give me your pistols roll. Or handguns.
I'll use 3 luck.
Okay. Go ahead and deduct that. And roll some damage for me.
I should have just rolled that to begin with. But 2 damage.
All right, so your gunshot rings out in the darkness, and you see your bullet impact with the back of this strange, small little fish-like creature. But it's almost like there's a metallic sound to the impact of your bullet, and there's even sort of a spark as it impacts with this carapace of the back of this weird fish-like creature. It does react to the force of the bullet, and it stumbles forward a little bit. Ricky, what did you want to do? Actually, you hear the clicking sound coming from behind you.
I'll turn around. Which way? Like towards the north?
Southwest.
Southwest. All right, so like that way.
It's fun playing characters you're not emotionally attached to.
So yeah, another one of those sneaky little fish-like creatures is clicking at you from the generator shed.
Yeah, I'll kind of like nudge Nick and be like, "Hey, buddy, we got more."
Yeah, I'll say, Luke, Nick, Ricky, back in the house.
Okay, so Luke,
let's try and close that generator shed door before we head back. Make sure these things don't get in there.
Luke is quick to take your instruction, and he moves north along the lighthouse. But he stumbles a little bit when he gets up to near that kitchen door is, and he's like leaning against the lighthouse. So Nick, let's have you act.
First, I will try and slam the generator door shut.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. No problem. You'd still be able to move.
And then I'll start moving back up along the side, keeping my vision focused on where these things are.
All right. Yeah, you can go ahead and move your token.
So maybe get to about there.
Yeah, you can actually move quite a ways. It's your movement times 5 in yards. which you can see about how much of the island you can cover. Do you guys see my measurement?
Okay.
Yeah, so anything in that would cover one turn.
Okay. With shutting the door, I'll get back up to about where Luke is.
Yeah, so he's kind of leaning on the edge of the lighthouse wall, and he's like, I'm feeling a bit dizzy, he says.
Try and hold it together till we're inside.
All right. Ricky?
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, come on.
All right, so you each hear another of those wet clicking sounds off from the thicket, and one of these guys appears from the brush. And these guys that you had already seen down by the sheds are just sort of trailing you cautiously, and those wet, throaty clicks they make almost have a curious sort of sound to them. So we'll go back to Luke, I suppose.
Yeah.
He says, I think I'll be all right. And he takes a few stumbling steps towards the kitchen door, and he tries the door, and it's open. Or it's unlocked.
That's right. I forgot that there's a door there.
All right, Nick.
Okay, so is Luke through that door yet?
Yeah, he's opened it and gone in.
Okay.
Let me take
Yeah, I'll stand just outside the door until Ricky gets in.
I don't know if I'm going that way. I think I might go through the front.
Oh, is he?
Maybe because he forgot it. So maybe your character actually forgot it in the state. Okay. So yeah, you saw Ricky was heading somewhere down the path.
I think I'm beeline. Well, not like full on speed, but going pretty quick.
Okay, then I'll step inside the door as I see him probably make his way around the corner of the front of the building, and I'll be leveling my gun at these things as I step back to the doorway.
All right, Ricky, your move.
Yeah, I'll ignore that one, and I'll try to get around and inside the lighthouse front door.
Yeah, you can do that all within your turn.
Okay. So, and then once I'm in, I'll slam the door behind me, and if there's a lock or a bar, I'll
put that down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they just have regular deadbolts in the doors. Let me rearrange you guys.
So once I hear the front door slam, I'll take that as a sign that Ricky made it in, and I'll shut the door, the kitchen door.
And the kitchen door's in the same sort of state. You can close it behind you and throw the bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'll see them in the kitchen and forget for a second that they were, it's all like I'm going to start and wonder how they got in ahead of me.
All right, so we'll take it from the top then. Luke's found one of the chairs that's still in a good spot, and he's sitting down, and he's plucked the needle out, and he's like, it must be some kind of poison. I don't feel well. Strange. What an amazing creature. But you can see he's kind of somewhat in a state of shock. What did you want to do, Nick, now that you've thrown that bolt?
I'll be trying to see if I can see them still outside.
Okay, give me a spot hidden.
I'll use one point of luck. I'm always either super over what I need or just one or two away. So yeah, I'll use 1 point and make that a success.
Yeah, you can see at least two of the shapes out in the rainy gloom out of the kitchen door window. They're just kind of swaying there, and you can faintly hear their thick, throaty calls to each other. You're not sure, but they don't seem to be coming up to the door or anything. What did you want to do, Ricky, now that you're back in the hallway and you've given yourself a start by hearing Luke and Nick in the other room?
I think I'm going to kind of just put aside any sort of masquerade or whatever it was I was doing before, right? Trying to hide my reason for being here, that I actually have a reason for being here.
Yeah.
And so I think I'll just start calling out, hey, Georgie, you here? Come on. Stop messing around, Georgie.
Silence is the response.
While I was doing that, I'll start making my way. I'm guessing there's a second floor or something.
Yeah, you saw at the end of the hallway, it goes into the lighthouse tower, and you could just make out the spiral stairs that lead up to the lighthouse.
Yeah, so I'll head down this way.
Can I call out to both Luke and Ricky? Do either of you have any first aid or medical training?
Let's see here.
A little bit.
My idea is so I'll call back out. Does anyone know of anything that may be used to neutralize a poison or a venom? And can I toss my own first aid in there to see?
Yeah, you can. Luke is droopy-eyed, and he's saying, "No, I'm afraid I've neglected any study of medicine in favor of the biology of animals."
Well, maybe you know something from your biological studies that can be used to neutralize a
yes, I
creature's
do
venom.
know many different natural toxins and poisons, but I'm afraid I only know them. I don't know what neutralizes them.
Let's push the roll. I think the obvious thing is if I fail the push, it's something like that might be even believed to be okay in this era, but is actually toxic, like arsenic or cyanide or.
Oh, gotcha.
Like some sort. Up. All right. Oh, yep.
Okay, so you wanted to apply some first aid to him, and you failed, and you pushed the roll by saying, "Drink something that could potentially be toxic." Is that right?
But maybe not for that era, because like there's that one story from back in the day about the something circus, the big circus or whatever it was, right? The World Fair or whatever, and they were like given a runner in a triathlon like cyanide.
Really?
And stuff. Yeah, it was like a pep up. You know, it wasn't a pep up, but the trainers just didn't know, and so they're making these concoctions and putting everything together. So like this might be something that is either considered okay to drink or is like scientifically okay to drink. There's some quotes around there, people.
Right.
you know, like old wives' medicine or something like that, right? You know, like a bit of turpentine.
Okay, so something that's available in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That you think should help with his condition. All right, let's see.
Some ammonia. And,
and I'll say something like, what's the one with bee stings? Baking soda. You like put wet baking soda on it for a bee sting.
It was his second roll. I'm double clicking like it's
it.
Fantasy Grounds too.
Yeah.
How much luck do I have to use to make that his?
Oh, I hadn't considered that. That's actually a kind of a good optional rule we should consider sometime as adversarial luck use, right? In this case,
he succeeds.
He's okay. He just says, I don't think that helped. I kind of actually feel nauseous now, which was not one of the symptoms I had before.
No, but that's how it's supposed to work. You get all sick and you puke it all up.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Am I to drink more then, or?
Yeah, let's give it a bit, see how you feel.
Well, if it's all right with you, gentlemen, I think I might just sit here a spell.
Yeah.
I am feeling rather faint.
Yeah, rest.
Yeah, you do that, buddy. I'm going to go back to looking.
Yeah, so Ricky, after you help him, you had peeked down into the lighthouse and you see the bottom of that spiral staircase leads up. And from the outside, it was, dozens of feet high. So
yeah, I'll start climbing it.
And what did you want to do, Nick?
First thing, I wanted to grab the chair from the study, and it looks from the map that the doors open inward.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of jam the door by propping the chair up underneath the door handle.
Which one, the door to the hallway or the door to the kitchen?
First the door to the kitchen, then I was going to look for a second chair that I could use for to the front hallway.
Oh, okay.
Just try and get some mediocre barricades in place.
Right. So basically, we have the hallway door leading outside the cottage bolted, and you want to block the one that leads into the study and then to the kitchen. So basically, if anything were to come in, they could only come down the hallway.
No, I wanted to try and block the one that goes into the hallway from outside.
Are you barricading the study?
Oh, an additional layer
Okay.
besides the bolt on them. Okay,
on both of those doors. So yeah, just barricade both the doors to the outside.
Yeah, that should be no issue, no roll required. So you got both of the doors. You work about barricading both of those doors outside, while Ricky clambers up the steps of the lighthouse.
And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to be keeping an eye out on something I can use to put in front of the windows.
Okay. All right. So the spiral staircase leads up to a little room before it reaches the lighthouse lamp and everything like that. It's the service room, basically. It's located immediately below the lantern room. The mechanism used to turn the lamp can be seen mounted in the ceiling, and there's a fair bit of noise from it working. So the spinning function is still going, but there's no light.
Okay.
And this is where the spiral stairs stop, and then from there you just basically have steps that lead up to a trap door that would go to the lantern room. There's several boxes stored here, and there's also a small workbench and a tool bag.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll go try the trapdoor.
Oh, sorry, there's one other thing. Opposite the workbench, you can see there's a radio set on a table.
All right. Yeah, I'll call down, like, hey, buddy, you wanted that radio or something? Found one.
Yeah, can you get a hold of the Coast Guard on it?
Yeah, I'm right on it.
So as you look it over, it looks to be in a semi-state of disrepair. Like the parts and pieces are arranged like somebody was putting it back together.
Oh, well, I guess, I'll shut that back down. Looks busted.
Just my luck.
At that moment, Nick, you hear a crash of glass and a thump, you would guess, coming from the bunk room.
Yeah, draw my gun and rush in that direction.
All right, you can go ahead and move there.
So probably...
And I could get a listen roll from you, Ricky, if you wanted to pick that up as well.
82 over 20.
Okay, so as you peek in there, you can see one of those strange little fish creatures has broken through one of the cottage windows and is standing in the bunk room between two of the beds.
Open fire.
Okay, go ahead and roll you.
Now can I shoot more than one round?
You can shoot up to, well, if you look at your weapon entry, it will have attacks. I think for yours it might be 1.
Yeah, 1, 3.
Yeah, if you shoot more than 1, then each shot has a penalty die to it.
Okay. So yeah, I'd like to fire all 3.
Yeah, so they would each have a penalty die.
So
40 versus 50.
Second one.
44 versus 50.
And then the last one, 86. So, yeah, so 2 of them, 40 and 44 versus 50.
That first one, oh, well,
That's
I
a
guess.
good one, 10 damage.
Unfortunately, that's not, though, huh?
Well, as you draw a bead on it with that first shot, it's facing you. So your shot takes it in the throat.
Nice.
And that seems to have a pretty good effect as it just drops, like a stone. And it lets out one of those thick but different sounding, because the structure's destroyed now, as a kind of a death rattle. And then it's still on the ground there.
Okay.
That definitely draws your attention, Ricky. You hear a shot go off as 3 shots go off as you're listening or trying to piece this radio back together.
Yeah, I guess I'll go running back down.
Yeah, and you see Nick standing in the doorway to the bunk room with his gun. He's had some training, so he's holding it properly. Well, it's the 1920s, so they're all... Yeah. And Luke's kind of stumbled out into the hallway. What do you do, Nick?
Say, hurry, barricade the windows. And I'll try and rush in there and grab one of the mattresses to put over the window.
Okay.
What are the bed frames? Like, are they solid wood or?
Yeah, they're wood.
All right. Yeah.
They're not a solid piece. They're kind of slotted so that they are fit together, right?
But like heavy enough. Like, are they? I meant like solid wood, as in like hardwood.
Yeah, I mean, with enough force, they could be broken, but you think they would hold for a while?
Yeah. All right. I guess I'll start helping Nick.
Meanwhile, I'll say, Luke, you wanted to get a look at one of these things up close? Here's your chance. How are you feeling, by the way?
Much the same.
Will you make sure that thing is actually dead?
Yeah, he walks up to it to take a look.
Cannon fodder.
Yeah, so now that you have one of these sort of, still in the stark light, electric light of the bunk room, You can see that the head and body are similar to those of an anglerfish. It has elongated spiny fins, muscular arms. Its hands possess 3 sharp claws, and it has frog-like muscular legs with the clawed webbed feet like those of a duck, and a long, thick finned tail. And Luke is like, oh, yes, this is definitely some manner of new species, and it is dead, as far as I can tell. We really should collect this and bring it back with us, assuming we can get off this island.
First, let's just try and survive the night.
All right, let's have a group luck roll as you go around barricade. Who's got the lowest luck?
Probably me now.
45.
34.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yay.
All right, so you managed to get both of the windows in that bunk room boarded up, and you had been working on the ones in the study, or was it the kitchen?
I got in the 2 doors and I was starting on the study.
All right, so we'll say you had one of the windows in the study, which leaves one in the kitchen and the other one in the study, which you managed to get covered without any further incident. Ricky, what did you want to do?
I guess while he's doing that, I'll try to pop open the locked drawer. So I guess I'd be over here.
Yeah. So working at it for a little while, you're able to get it open. And you see a small journal in there. That's the only item that was in the drawer. There's a rough sketch of an obelisk on the journal's cover. You haven't seen one of the coins yet, have you?
No.
Okay.
One thing I want to note is that I also want to refill my revolver. So it's back at 6 bullets.
Okay. Let me share that handout with you. Okay, so yeah, you notice this is Cassidy's handwriting. It seems to be his personal journal. So the first entry is dated February 13th, 1926. I found something on one of my walks, a coin. I kept walking and found another, then another. I know it's gold. Found some mechanical parts as well. Looks like it might be from a ship. Must have gone down recently, but I don't recall hearing anything about no wreck of late. Unless it went down in last night's storm when the light was out. I better keep this quiet. Don't want the other two here to get a slice of the action. I will keep this journal as a means of documenting my findings. This has to be worth a mint. February 16th, 1926. That coin catalog I bought in Folly Point is useless. One thing I know is that the coins are old, real old. I've asked if I can stay on for as long as I can until I'm sure there's nothing left there for me to line my pockets. And I have to find a good lead on these coins to go where the money takes me. Maybe I should write to some of my old colleagues to see if they can help. Should probably try some of those fancy antique stores in Rockport while I'm at it. And you know, by colleagues, he meant you, basically. March 10th, 1926. The coins are getting hard to find. The 2 new crew members aren't helping matters. Makes it difficult to search without being noticed. Hope they don't cause me any trouble. Even so, I filled a small purse which I keep on me at all times. April 3rd, 1926. I've got a good lead now. I'll be sending one more letter to Innsmouth, then I'm confident I can get off this stinking island for good. I think Michael is watching me. I've bought a gun just in case. April 11th, 1936. Smith said he will leave the lighthouse tomorrow morning. He says he doesn't care if it voids his contract. He's had enough of this island and everything on it. At least that's one less pair of eyes watching me. Still stuck with that sneak Michael, though. Smith says the radio busted again halfway through talking to the bosses. Said he'd fix it before he leaves. Counted my coins just to be sure he didn't lift any off me in my sleep. I've seen Michael peering out the window, spying my daily walks. I'll have to be a bit more careful. April 12th, 1926. Smith left without a word. Me and Michael didn't even see him go. Didn't take his paintings with him, which is a bit odd. Lousy rat didn't even repair the radio before he left. I'll get to it later tonight. Michael has gone to check something outside. Seems paranoid. Think there's more than just tobacco in that pipe of his. At least I get more time to write. No word from... And then it stops there.
Ah, damn it, Georgie, why didn't you leave me more? I'll kind of angrily just chuck the journal back in the dresser or the drawer and kind of slam that.
All right, Nick. You think you got the place buttoned up pretty good?
Yeah. Do I hear him slam the drawer?
Make a listen roll.
Ooh.
Nope.
Not gonna spend any luck.
No. I'm saving that for that
Push it.
that last
push it.
moment before I'm about to die. No, that one's not that important.
All right, yeah. So you don't hear anything. Like I said, you've got the place buttoned up pretty good.
I'll turn to Nick and I'll say, you said you found a radio?
Or Ricky.
Or Ricky?
Yeah. Upstairs, right below the trap door for the lighthouse.
Yeah, show me where it is. Maybe I have an ability to fix it. I used to tinker with these things.
You sure? I think one of us should stay with the kid. He's looking kind of green around the gills.
Nothing I can do for him.
Yeah, good point.
As long as he's resting, that's the best thing I can do.
You're a cold man, Nick. All right, follow me. And I'll show him.
Okay. So you guys head up that lighthouse to the workroom under the lantern room, and you see that radio in a semi-state of disrepair. It looks like it was an effect of laziness that it's not put back together. So all the parts and stuff seem to be there. So it's just a matter of a successful electrical repair roll to fix it.
Okay, I'll take my shot at it. And while I'm repairing it, I'll say, you're right, Ricky. You should probably go check on Luke, make sure that he's at very least comfortable.
Kind of I am, but yeah, sure. All right.
I'll get to putting it back together. But yeah, I'll say, yeah, this doesn't look too broken. I should be able to put it back together.
They're light up here.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
that should be something. I'll probably turn my lantern off and start turning on lights. Yeah, I'll go back down and where is that guy? There he is.
Yeah, Luke seems quite all right. He's explains to you that the fascination of finding a new species has quite put my fugue state in the back of my mind. And he has his journal out. You know, it's like a research journal. There's a bunch of loose papers tucked here and there, and he's sort of sketching certain properties of this creature he's found in his journal with a pencil.
Yeah, see, I told you I'd pep you right up. Just had to let the turpentine do its work.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, Ricky. You helped me out there.
Yeah, my mama, she is never wrong. Always right on that stuff.
Oh, God bless your mother.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it looks like you got that radio put back together. And so when you power it up, you hear the crackle of static air. It's just a matter of tuning it to a frequency to...
Yeah, I'll work with the dials until I find someone responding.
Yeah, you know a number of different frequencies. In this case, you would probably want to contact the local Coast Guard.
Yeah, if I know that,
Yeah,
then yeah, I'll go directly to that.
you get it dialed in, and you start sending out your call. What are you calling for?
Distressed boat sinking just off the coast of this island,
Beacon Island.
3 people trapped on the island that need escape or need passage off.
Evacuation.
Yeah.
All right, so you unthumb the talk thing, and you hear the open static of it, and then you hear a voice come through, faintly with the storm and everything, but it's like Massachusetts Coast Guard, copy, Beacon Island, repeat, is that your location?
And I'll answer yes. Beacon Island, we're taking shelter in the lighthouse as for right now. Don't know what happened to the rest of the crew. There were other lifeboats that had set loose, but we haven't seen anyone.
All right, radioing Alert 3. They should be en route to your location. Arrival approximately 20 minutes.
Perfect. Tell them to be careful. There's some sort of an animal on here that attacked us.
An animal.
Also, the lighthouse is off.
And the lighthouse appears to not be working. I will try and get the light working again. It sounds like the workings of it are still functioning, but the light has gone out. We'll try and fix that before you arrive.
Copy. Will advise rescue team. Stay safe. God bless.
Thank you.
All right, Ricky.
Yeah, I'm just gonna Well, actually, I guess while I'm keeping an eye on Luke, there's those dresser drawers that I'm seeing. Like,
Oh yeah, give me a spot hidden roll while you're in there.
all right.
I'll need a hard success.
What would that be for hard?
25 out of 50, so you need to spend
9,
11.
11. Okay. Yeah.
There may be loot involved.
Oops. Dang it. 34. There we go. Yeah. All right. So hard success.
Okay, so you can pinpoint by looking at the bunk chests or the dressers by the beds, like what belongs to who. So you can see that this one's for Cassidy, and this one is a man named what did he go under? Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's that third one, which is the one where he found that stuff in the mattress. So that's what you pick up with the spot hidden, is what he found that you weren't aware of.
Okay.
And so there was a gold coin, 6 bullets in like a cloth wrapping that's like bundled up and cinched up, and then a pocket-sized notebook. Although I think you had tucked the notebook away, hadn't you?
I'd put all of it back.
Put it all back.
Because at the time I wasn't sure if he was coming back.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll share. I read it out to you, but it's
Yeah, the guy's
his
Stakeout.
observations. And that coin has the obelisk sigil on it that was on Cassidy's notebook.
And this is my first time seeing it. Do you
Right.
want to praise out of it? Or?
Yeah, go ahead. You can do appraise, art, craft, occult, or natural world, any of those that you want to try.
Looks like we're going to praise. Oh, no. Yeah, we'll leave it.
Well, it definitely has the appearance of gold.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then it has that obelisk sigil that matches what was on his notebook, and that's all you can really glean from the coin.
Yeah. And then I'll thumb through the notebook.
Yeah, and he hadn't gotten very far. It's just what's written on that one page, which looks like he figured out something about Cassidy's background, which might make you a little nervous, because if he was looking into Cassidy's background, he might have figured out old associates and then some of the other things he noticed on the island.
I'll rip the page out of the notebook and put that in my pocket, put the notebook back.
Okay.
And then I'll keep the coin.
Okay.
And the bullets, I guess, too, just in case.
Might as well.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, what are you going to do?
I'm going to bust him for stealing. No.
You ain't got nothing on me, Kappa.
I'm going to try and open up the latch to where the actual light for the lighthouse is, see if I can...
Oh, to go up the steps through the...
Yeah. Try and do like I told the Coast Guard I would and get the light functioning again.
All right, so when you open that trap door, a blast of cold, wet air hits you in the face, and you can see immediately that a couple of the glass panes around it were shattered. And so wind and rain is blowing in. If you step up there, all that glass is crunching underfoot.
Okay.
Adding to the slipperiness and the wetness is the blood from the corpses of 2 men, along with 2 of those bizarre fish creatures, which lie inside the room's narrow confines. One of the fish creatures is actually latched onto the neck of one of the men. So,
is it moving?
No, they're all dead. All
dead.
4 of them. Yeah.
All right, I'll draw my gun.
Go ahead and give me your sanity roll first.
There
Ooh.
Oh,
That's a 100 over 64.
yeah, that's a
fumble.
That's a fumble. That's the worst possible scenario.
All right, so you lose 5 points of sanity.
Oh, that's
A temporary bout of madness. Okay. All right, so, at first you might have been able to fool yourself into thinking that those small creatures were relatively harmless even after it shot some sort of poisoned spine into Luke. And the fact that it didn't kill Luke or anything like that helped you sort of keep that illusion going. But now seeing one of them apparently having killed one of the lighthouse keepers, you think, it's just too much for you to bear. This whole situation has kind of gotten to you. And you're suddenly thinking that the rowboat or the lifeboat and risking making it to mainland might be worth it. So we will have you operate under those conditions. So what do you want to do, Nick? So basically, for the next, let me roll that out though. Oh, camera guy rolled it. That's the wrong one, but that works. So yeah, for the next 7 or so rounds, that's how you basically, that's what you are going to do. But I'll let you role play within the confines of that.
All right.
The question is, will me and Luke weigh him down right in his head? I think that'd be the big question. Are you escaping alone, or are you escaping with everyone?
Well, depends on how you react. But first thing I'm going to do is quickly slam shut that doorway to the top and jam something to try and stop it from opening, and like any kind of quick, sabotage I can do, and then start making my way down the stairs as fast as I can.
Okay. So you, Ricky, you hear him come thumping down the stairs and into that hallway.
Yeah. Looks like he found something.
His eyes are wide and he looks pale.
Yeah.
You all right?
They're all dead. I found them up in the lighthouse. They're all dead. Those creatures killed them. We have to get off this island now. We're not safe.
We're not safe out there. There's more of them.
We're safer in the boat than we are in here.
The boat?
Yeah, the lifeboat.
We
can survive in the lifeboat. We can get away from the island.
Nick, these are obviously aquatic adapted creatures. They'll be able to keep up with us in a boat.
The Coast Guard's on their way. We'll meet them part way.
Well, maybe it'd be better if we just wait for here. And then you hear a slam in the kitchen as, something is trying to push through the reinforced door.
See, I told you. We got to go out the front door. We got to get to the boat.
But we're all showed up here. Like, we're all locked down. We're hunkered in. I say we just stick with the plan. The Coast Guard's going to be here.
How many rounds has it been?
Well, probably not even one.
I'll keep a count.
All right.
Just keep playing it out, and then I'll tell you when you can drop it.
All right. Yeah, my next move is if you're not going to come with me, I've got to get off this island. We've got to find a way out.
I'm going to have to attempt to stop him from leaving via the front door.
Okay.
If he's, I'm believing that we're safe in here.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you think you've reached the limits of being able to convince these guys to come with you.
Yeah. So I'm going to start heading to the door to start unbarricading what I had done before.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to grab his shoulder and pull him back, like, stop that. Like, they can't get through, all right? We're safe.
And I'll shout at him, you can hear them breaking through the back door right now.
Breaking through, they haven't broken in yet, all right? We're good. We just reinforce everything more. We drag some of them bed frames over there or something. We can stay in here. We can be safe.
You do hear some glass shatter from within the kitchen as just another advanced stage of them battering at this door.
Yeah. I said, they managed to break through the glass up at the top. That is one of the most well-barricaded places I can think of. And they managed to kill 2 people with, it didn't seem like much of an effort. We're not safe as long as we're on this island.
We're not safe out there.
We're not safe anywhere until we get off this island and get picked up by the Coast Guard.
You heard what the kid said. We're going to get in that boat and they're going to eat us alive, like piranhas.
If they're all swarming this place, and maybe they'll leave us alone once we get out there.
All right, let's put it up to a contest to see. You're not going to convince him out of it, but I'd say at this stage, Nick, you're pulling away from him and going for the door. So it's if you're going to be able to stop him. So let's just do you guys' brawl skills, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, dang.
So yeah, Nick just has the strength on you, you think, and he rips away from you.
Could I attempt to push it?
You could, or wait, it's a combat roll.
Oh, okay, no.
Can't push it. The only thing you could do is spend luck to make it.
Man,
I don't think you have that much luck.
You'd have to go all the way to a critical. So yeah, I don't think it's up to you. Because on the extreme success and the tie, his higher brawl skill would win. So you would have to get a critical success. So 42 points.
Yeah, I don't got that.
All right, so we'll say in that round, he's able to get away from you, and he starts ripping where you put like a chair up against there. So he starts moving this furniture away from it, and he gets it moved out of the way. So we'll proceed to a new round and give another opportunity for you to stop him.
I'll call for Luke. I'll be like, Luke, he's trying to get out.
So Luke comes to the door and he's like, Nick, come on now, calm down. But he's not very physically imposing, so he's willing to stand at the door and lob very passive.
Good for nothing, but anyways.
But yeah, you can try again to pull him away from it. Just get another opposed roll.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
So yeah, this time you got the better of him. He was, moving something heavy. So you caught him off balance. And what do you want to do? What effect do you want to have? Just get him tied up or throw him to the floor?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, like how'd you keep me off you?
I probably would have just pushed you away from me. I wasn't trying to hurt you or anything like that. Just get to the door and get out.
So I guess I'd probably do something similar.
Okay.
I'm probably like not really a fighter though, so I'm probably getting close to where it's time to start punching in my character's head. But yeah, grab him by the shoulder and I'll yank him away, kind of give him a push.
All right. So yeah, it's enough that you kind of knock up against the hallway wall, and just that impact sort of shakes you out of it, and you feel the pressing urge to flee this island at all costs sort of pass, and that adrenaline flood out of your body. However, you're still in a state of underlying insanity, but you're fully in control of your character now.
Okay. So I see him balling up his fists and getting ready to fight me.
Now, Ricky, he did mention that everybody was dead upstairs, and if he means everybody, you're somewhat concerned about Cassidy being amongst those.
Yeah, but I'm gonna assess him, make sure he's not you calm down. We gotta keep doing this. I can do this all night. Failed to intimidate.
Yeah, I'll take a few breaths, kind of calming myself down, and then the realization that something's trying to break through the kitchen will finally dawn on me. I'll say, well, if we're gonna stay here, barricade that door again. I'm going to take care of the thing in the kitchen.
All right.
And so I'll go in that direction to...
All right, Nick, as you enter the kitchen, you can see that they've knocked away one of these planks you guys had put up against the glass of the kitchen. And you see the bulbous-eyed fish-like creature sort of peering through that window at you. And it makes the thick clicking sound when it sees you. What do you want to do?
I can't go through that door. Fire 3 shots at its face.
Okay. Penalty die on each one.
Let's see. So in these kinds of situations, do you want me to roll it through the combat, or do you want me to roll the skill first?
Combat's fine.
All right. So that's the first one, fail.
Gets the damage out of the way.
Second one, potential hit. Miss. And miss. So 3 shots, 3 misses.
Yeah, so you fire out 3 wild shots, and they impact at various places in the kitchen.
I think you still need to roll your penalties, though, right?
Yeah, you might go for a fumble, yeah.
Yeah, critical.
Last one, no.
Okay. I'm just trying to get your hand blown off.
Let's see, are there any of those? You can't luck, can you?
You can luck the combat roll, you just can't push them.
Okay, I'll do a luck on that first one that I missed by 1. I got a 51 versus 50 on that one with a penalty die of a 4, so.
Okay. So yeah, it was... you catch it somewhere on the head, but it seems to hit that metallic component of its skin, and there's that sound of your bullet impacting, and then it disappears out of you, warded away for now. But you start to hear pounding at different windows and rooms around the cottage, and now you can kind of hear a chorus of the thick, wet clicking sounds coming from all directions outside of the cottage. And unfortunately, we're out of time. So we'll just have to call it there. Can't even get through a 1-hour scenario. But that's all right.
Oh, well. Thanks for Game Master, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well.
This has been a Deathwatch production. Thank you for listening.